Karen Hunt and Annette Wittenberger. They kept talking about this amazing idea that they had and had previously been successful at, but it had been paused and they wanted to keep going with it. And they were talking about how veterans can learn resources about entrepreneurship, education, really connecting with our fellow veteran community and being successful. So obviously I wanted to be a part of that. And I am really excited to be a part of 2025 because we are going to have even more amazing speakers and resources.
That, Sarah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Luke brought us together, so this is awesome. And here we are in his office, chatting away.
Having just brushed the horses.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about INVETS?
All right. How long have we got?
We have plenty of time. We can go for hours on this thing.
Okay. So, well, INVETS is an organization. It's 501c3, and we recruit veterans, spouses, and their families from multiple installations across the country and bring them to Indiana.
Oh, that's awesome.
We partner with over 600 companies, and we have a relationship with the recruiters or HR people with most of those companies. Like anything in life, it's a bell curve. So we have a group in the middle who are doing good work. We have some at one end who are amazing, and then we have a few that say, yes, I work with veterans. Like, no disrespect, but that's reality.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they have access to our platform, as do the veterans. So they can work independently, but when we're working with human beings, that personal touch is what is important. So we have veteran engagement managers.
Okay.
There's 5 of those: Northwest Indiana, North Central, Northeast, Central, and Southern Indiana.
Okay.
And then we have 3 part-time ambassadors in high traffic areas: North Carolina. You know, obviously
For sure.
We've got several bases down there. I'm sure I don't need to tell you about those. Texas, same. And then we have someone in Washington
Okay.
State. And they're part-time, and they just push people that they meet who might be interested in moving to Indiana. If you look at the stats, most people, 20-odd% stay at their final installation, 20-odd% go home. That's low-hanging fruit. 48% are open to anywhere. So then the veteran engagement managers and the ambassadors sell the benefits of Indiana.
Oh, that's amazing. People. And Luke didn't tell you, my primary business is actually 10th Mountain Recruiting, which we are in the recruiting space and always looking to help veterans transition out or to find opportunities. So that's interesting, and I'll keep that in the back of my brain for sure.
Well, we always say it's not one person looking for a new job; it's a family changing a life. And it's everything that changes when anybody's serving. They know where to go for medical help. They know the pay goes into their bank. In fact, if you ask some veterans what they earn, they don't even know. They just know that that's what I get at this level, and now I need to do some education. I get to this level, and I'll get that.
For sure.
But it's a whole life change, and as you guys always refer to it, your tribe.
It is.
It doesn't move with you.
And that's what, to your point there, we were talking about this earlier. And one thing, when people are transitioning out, they lose their identity. You know, this is a big thing. We always hear this. As they transition out there, some people get lost.
Yeah.
And really the answer to that is finding the tribe that's on the other side of the fence.
Right.
Because they're there. And there are so many veterans, so many veteran organizations like your organization that are out there to support, to grow, unite, and elevate the veteran community.
Absolutely.
So it's just tremendous stuff that's going on. How would someone find INVETS if they didn't have a clue about INVETS?
On Google will pop up, but we're really easy to find. INVETS, which is short for Indiana Veterans.org, and you're straight into the website.
Okay.
And you can, then contact us through that, and go to any of the TAP centres or the HOH. We're at those events a lot. You'll find us there, and we're in your corner. We're here to help. We try to, one of our core values is we meet people where they are, which, as you can imagine, if you've got a bell curve of veterans or people transitioning, somebody who's been in 3 years has got very different needs to somebody like you guys who's come out after 20 years.
There's a difference, I think, there with some things for sure.
Yeah.
Is you're looking to bring veterans to Indiana, whether they're from here before service or not, what are some of the incentives for veterans to come to Indiana? I mean, there are a lot of states out there that offer, tax-free benefits or additional educational benefits. What does Indiana? I'm not sure. I'm from Chicago, so no idea.
Our tax is lower than yours.
For sure, 100%.
We do pull in some veterans that are in Illinois and bring them over when we talk to them about tax. But there's a lot of benefits. For start, we don't tax pensions. A lot of people leave. Which
is important.
Indeed. Not as much as you think when you're young, but as you age, you think, yeah, that's really important.
It is.
We help with education. Property tax is reduced. Some of these are tied into disability ratings, but there is, as I say, a reduction on property tax. So GI Bill is obviously available, and we have excellent universities in state. When you think you've got Purdue, IU, Notre Dame, so a lot of veterans use the GI Bill for their family. So that's really a huge saving.
For sure.
Yeah. And what we do is there have in the past and sometimes still exist now some incentives, financial incentives to move here with different organizations. But I think what INVETS does, we try to stay in our lane. So we work with some of the other organizations as well. But we work with an organization called Happy LLC, or Happy Frictionless Mental Health.
Okay.
And anyone that comes onto our platform that we work with will receive some communication from Happy. It's called Frictionless because they do the reaching out. They don't wait for people to reach out to them. It's just, you're transitioning. How are you doing? How's your spouse doing? How are the kids doing? And it's very interesting, some of the information that comes back, not surprising, concerns a career, housing, mental and physical health of everybody, salary, how am I going to make it work, all those types of things, which make a big difference to people. And so they just help. And we piloted it before I actually started, so I think it was back in 21, and saved 3 lives of people who are at the end of their rope. So it's really a good.
That's very important for sure.
Yeah.
Very important.
So, and then obviously Indiana offers a lot. You may not know because you're living in the wrong state.
I have seen some different advertisements on social media trying to lure not just veterans but people in general to some of the rural areas of Indiana.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of opportunities here in the state for sure.
And there's such an advantage bringing veterans to the state because if you ask any organization, what are you looking for in your workforce? They're going to come up with self-starters, disciplined, punctual, team players, decision makers. Sure. And then you add in that veterans can typically do that in a very adverse environment sometimes.
For sure.
They keep their cool, they know what needs to be done, and they execute. And we're bringing those people into the state.
I think something, a lot of times organizations that are out there, I'm talking to you, a lot of businesses that are out there, they feel that people that are in the military are drones. They're being barked the orders to, and that's all they do. They're just mindless. But actually, the military is really an opportunity for people to become creative people, to be creative and to take initiative they call this mission command. And really, this is an opportunity at the art level to do just that, and to be creative, and to be bootstrap too. A lot of the times you'll see soldiers can take, in an organization, can take a little bit and make it into something really huge, and leverage their experience in the military against the challenges of bigger organizations that are well established. If an organization's open-minded and wants to really have that infusion of awesomeness into their organization, and allow their organizations to really embrace some of the cultural change that'll happen organically through bringing on veterans.
I think the one of the secrets is taking the time to understand the translation from military service to civilian service.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough sometimes and I'm biased, I'm as a veteran, but I think it's hard sometimes for them being these different organizations and HR managers, no offense to the HR world, but or anyone, to really understand that a lot of these skills, maybe not, there are some jobs obviously in the Army that may not translate exactly, and that we can borrow a lot of the soft skills, definitely, but there are some jobs in the Army that directly translate into the civilian world. There's HR in the military, there's finance in the military, there's logistics in the military.
It's a whole ecosystem. It's like just a huge company.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, people aren't running around firing weapons all day, every day, or all coming out with, debilitating PTSD. The levels of PTSD in the civilian population are not that far away. Okay, it might be a different source. A car accident, or me watching my mother fall off a stool and create the biggest flap injury you ever seen in your life in her leg, so you can see her tib and fib. I woke up sweating about that for a little while, but not everybody that comes out of the military suffers, and I think, and the other thing is, again, no disrespect to recruitment agents. If you've got 2 piles of resumes and you get paid to place people, which we know that they do. They do, for sure. If you have a resume that completely resonates with the guy who's already on the floor in the office, you think, oh yeah, I know it. Oh, he's got everything. Right. Then you look at the other pile and it's a military resume. And we do work with them all to make it more civilianized, but it might not be exactly. Well, I'm not sure about that one. That's why you need veteran on the inside. You need veteran recruiters or veteran talent acquisition people, or veteran advocates, veteran hiring advocates that can help to translate some of this resume. They're not always going to be a fit, for absolutely. Sure. But in a lot of times, let's say a production supervisor in a manufacturing plant. I mean, this is just a great opportunity for an organization to get some really awesome talent, and to allow, that's really, to me, that's a good starting point for an NCO, or maybe even a captain, sometimes a major, to step into that role. They definitely have the skill sets to do it. Yeah. I mean, once you learn, obviously there's some learning of the widget, whatever that widget happens to be. Yeah. But in terms of the leadership aspect, which is one of the critical components of being in a manufacturing environment, because the lifeblood are the workers that are in the manufacturing environment. So taking a chance to bring in military can help to really solve a problem, for sure. So it's funny that you mentioned that. We brought a great guy, Woody, who's in Florida. He's Haitian. He has quite a strong Haitian accent still. And, it was tricky. Sometimes people weren't taking him seriously or employing him, and keep going. It's a numbers game. And he is in a manufacturing facility in Lafayette and has increased widget production on 2 lines already. I believe it. Yeah. I believe it. And, that is huge. And then once companies have taken in a couple of military, then they realize what's
It's cultural. It infuses the culture of an organization with something dynamic. And I bet you not only I'm sure there's more technical things to how we raise the productivity of those lines.
Yeah.
But I can almost guarantee that a huge reason that the production raised was because of his leadership.
Yeah.
And his ability to communicate and to have a presence and command or manage those people that are under him. And he has a respect for them.
Yeah.
Sometimes organizations, we call them the ivory tower, sitting in their ivory tower, they may forget that the lifeblood are those people that are down on the line working, 12 hours a day, sometimes 6 days a week.
Sure.
So bringing in the military person is awesome because you've been there and done that.
Well, when I met Ryan Hunt and Annette Wittenberger, they kept talking about this amazing idea that they had previously been successful at, but it had been paused and they wanted to keep going with it. And they were talking about how veterans can learn resources about entrepreneurship, education, really connecting with our fellow veteran community and being successful. So obviously I wanted to be a part of that. And I am really excited to be a part of 2025 because we are going to have even more amazing speakers and resources.